Hello, cartoon fanatics. RJ here, and welcome back to another Cartoon Corner covering Star versus the Forces of Evil. And boy, I am so glad I managed to make it back in time. If you saw last week's video, I was gone for most of the weekend in an area with no internet. Well, I mean there was, but it was very spotty. So this morning, the clips for these new episodes, like the still images, were starting to pop through my Instagram feed, and I was just kind of sitting in the corner of the only space that had working internet, kind of like... So I was pretty relieved to get back and really get in and see what we got. And I was really worried that something really big was going to go down. Luckily, we had some really nice slice of life episodes, including the long-anticipated beach day. So let's go ahead and get right into that. So let's start with kind of the transition that put us back onto Earth from Uni. After all of the coronation episode went down, we see that Star is finally kind of letting go of the whole royalty thing. She's letting Eclipse and Globgor do their thing and ruling the kingdom now, which means she gets to be a teenager again. And she's supposed to go off with Tom on like this big fancy vacation. But we can tell as she's starting to go around and say goodbye to everything that she seems kind of hesitant to do so. There was obviously a lot of stuff going down, and she didn't even seem like she remembered how to be a regular teenager. We get a really funny cameo from Justin Roiland being this random broom spell that apparently was Star's very first spell. Justin! Why is Justin there? I don't know why. I thought that was hilarious. You know me, I like seeing cartoon creator cameos in other cartoon shows. It's a niche, a very odd specific niche, but I love it. But it ultimately ends up in Star and Tom. I can't tell if they broke up or if they're just taking a break. It sounded more like they were kind of taking a break, which I guess is really broken up when push comes to shove, because Star says she needs some time to just kind of chill and figure things out for herself again. But Tom wants to go on this great journey. And good Tom, he's done a lot of growth. That's another character that we've seen a lot of development for, because he would have flipped out about this over season 1, and instead he goes, you know what, I need this, I need to go on this trip, and you don't have to come along if you don't want to, but I'm doing this for me. So good job, Tom. You didn't freak out, and hopefully we'll be seeing more of him again. I know we will, but it was kind of a semi-sweet, sad moment to see that. But hey, and now Star's back on Earth, which I wasn't quite sure what to make of that. After all of the crazy stuff that's gone down on Muni, Earth seems very mundane. It kind of takes us back to the earlier seasons with a lot of one-off episodes, and I was starting to get worried, well, if we have it all set back on Earth now, does that mean that everything went down is just kind of over with, and now we're just going to get back to fun, quirky episodes with no thicker plot going on? But I should have known better. They're finding ways to weave it in. And these episodes were more to kind of reintroduce Earth and go back to the characters that we met there and see exactly what they were all up to. Which was really cool because, wow, I totally forgot my words there for a moment. Star and Marco, they come across almost every single character from Earth that we met in seasons 1 and 2. We got some Star Fan 13, which is always fun. We got that Mr. Candle guidance counselor guy. I still don't know what's up with him. We see Oscar and Marco's former karate teacher running a taco shop. And it's just so interesting to see how all of these characters have grown and developed. We saw Marco's old friends. I can't remember their names because they kind of vanished after season 1. And I was totally surprised to see them again. It's like, oh, hey, you're here. But it's interesting to see how all these characters have moved on, and of course now Marco's got a cute little baby sister named Mariposa, which is super adorable because Mariposa is Spanish for butterfly. I don't think that was on accident. It was definitely on purpose. And we even get Jackie Lynn Thomas resolution. I didn't think we would have that. I know that she got kind of a bad rep during seasons 2 and part of season 3, even though she's the one that broke up with Marco because of the whole triangle thing going on there. But boy, it was good to see her again, because I felt like with a lot of the Earth characters, once the plot kicked in, they were just kind of left in the dust. And it still kind of feels that way, like they don't really have a lot of significance to the main storyline going on. But it was good that the writers went back to these characters so we could see exactly where they are and what places they're at and kind of how far Star and Marco have come on their own separate journey. That was really nice to see. And then we got the long-anticipated beach day. The moment had finally come for Star and Marco to have their beach day. But Star's having trouble enjoying it because she's anticipating being able to take the picture that past her will get to guarantee that she will have the best day and everything will be resolved. And we kind of felt this too, that once we saw beach day, that would sort of be the end of the show. I think... Well, I mean, before we got the episode titles, I had the idea that Beach Day would kind of be the cap-off of the series. But instead, it's in the middle, which I guess now I know how Star feels throughout most of this episode. Because she's waiting for the moment to get this picture taken, and then it finally happens, and she doesn't feel like things have been resolved. So she storms over to Father Time and going, "Why did you give me this picture? Things are still not entirely up to par. Things are still not the best." And, it's life. That's kind of the way life is. One thing gets resolved and then another thing falls apart. But we discover that future Star had given it to Father Time so that past Star could have it, because past Star needed it to get through those hard times of losing her mom and discovering that her royal lineage was all kind of a big lie with the whole Eclipsa thing and the Festivia stuff. So at the end of the day, she needed it more than it wasn't some grand old prophecy of, and it's foretold that Beach Day will be the end of all your troubles. It wasn't something like that. It was more about Star giving herself a pep talk and going, you can get through this stuff. You can do it. And we get kind of an ominous message from Father Time at the end that there's still a lot more harder things coming their way. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what those things are, because they've already been through a lot. And I'm guessing he's talking about whatever's going to kick off the series finale, and now I'm slightly terrified but also excited for that. And lastly, we get yet another episode kind of in the older dimension place. Hekapoo stops in to tell Marco to stay on Earth while Marco's babysitting both Meteora and Mariposa. And the fans we've already started, even before Mariposa existed, when we thought he was still Marco Jr., people were creating fan art of these two characters together. And now we get an episode of them, because the babies wander into the older dimension. They end up growing up into teenagers there because time works differently there. So we get to see these really cool teenage models of Mariposa and Meteora working together and being friends and having like this tight sister bond. And of course Star and Marco go and get them, and it's funny that they managed to finally coax them back to their present with food. It's amazing what food will do, especially when you're a hungry teenager. But it was cool to see. It kind of gave us a glimpse into the future of what these characters might look like and how they might interact and what the future holds for sort of the younger ones, which is really cool to see, because Meteora is a character that she's gone through a lot. I mean, we get so wrapped up in how cute baby Meteora is. Sometimes I forget that she used to be Miss Heinous, and she had gone pretty much through her whole life in one disjointed, disrupted, abusive way. And now she's being raised by both of her parents properly and in a loving family. And we can see even when she gets separated from that as a baby, how much that has already changed her rebirth, so to speak, as she's got a second chance to do it all over again and accept who she is. And if this episode gives any indication of what the future Meteora might be like, it looks like that she could easily balance out her Muni and her monster side very well. So that's pretty exciting to see, and we had speculation of what a fully embracing Meteora would look like if she embraced her monster side. So that was pretty cool. Her friendship with Mariposa was also pretty cool. So that was a sweet episode overall. All of these episodes were pretty sweet. We got a lot of interactions with old characters. We got to see some new stuff. We even got a little hint that things are not quite over yet. The conflicts aren't quite over yet, of course. We know stuff on Muni isn't completely 100% resolved, so Well, I guess we'll just have to wait next week and see what those episodes hold. So if you liked this, make sure to put a thumbs up and press that like button. Comment below on what you thought about these new episodes if you want to. Again, there wasn't really anything heavy to go into here, but I kind of liked how we were able to return to certain characters on Earth. So let me know, which Earth characters did you like seeing again? Which Earth characters were you happy that we kind of got to see again, and which ones did you wish they just kind of forgot existed altogether? Also, what do you think about the future of Meteora, man? Like, I was gushing over those designs. They were so cool. I'm so excited. I don't know if we'll get like future jumps in this episode, like actual future jumps, and not just, oh, we're going into a future dimension or father time or whatever. I want to see what Muni looks like 10 years or 12 years from the point we're at right now. I would love to see that, and I'm curious to see if anyone else would want to see that at the end of this show too. So hopefully, I don't know what's going to come up, but I'm pretty excited to see how this is all going to come together yet again.